Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Making It Simple. Pastor Andy here. Glad to be with you today on this beautiful Tuesday. Sometimes the days seem to run together. There's so much going on, personally, professionally, and just all around us. You know, it is truly a concerning time that we live in, but it's also very exciting because we see the things of God unfolding right before our very eyes. Um, if you want to see it. You know, it's the same way with hearing. We're talking about in this lesson the hearing of the word of the Lord. And when we understand the concept of that, we look beyond just the physical ability to hear. Because to be quite honest, not everybody has that. I struggle with that. I've lost a large portion of my actual physical ability to hear. But hearing is also an action because it really encompasses the willingness to hear, meaning that I will accept what it is that is presented, or I won't. And I think this is where we're coming to not only this point in the lesson, which we're almost done with, but in the state of our nation right now. And again, everybody that's listened to this, I want to say thank you. For those who have yet to hear it, I hope that you do. And understand, this is not just my opinion pouring out about, my disgruntledness about this or that, but it is a plea. When we look at the way things are compared to how they should be, it's two completely different things. This is yet a warning from God. I absolutely believe that. And at the same time, it's a message of love from God that I care enough about you to let you know if you continue down this pathway, the result will not be what you're looking for. That is what a good parent does. A good parent not just corrects or in some cases punishes or whatever a child out of cruelty or meanness, but rather out of love. And that is what God is saying. If you continue to reject what I'm telling you, if you continue to ignore everything that I'm placing before you, whether I'm sending it through pastors, prophets, and teachers, or just clear signs from nature and everything else, then eventually you won't hear it because it will be silent. We've looked at how has that affected our nation as of right now, and how will it continue to affect if we continue down the roads that we're traveling. So my intent is not to in any way be negative or desecrate, denigrate, or any kind of way this country in which we live or which we love, but rather to say, let's wake up. We talked about yesterday removing foundation, and friends, if you take the foundation out from under your house, it's going to fall down. If we continue to allow the foundation of our country to be removed, it will be just like Jesus said. It will fall, and great will its fall be. We simply cannot continue down the road that we're traveling. And I say we because we all live here. We all may not be involved, but we will all be impacted by that. Again, think about what God said. Let's go back to this verse that we're building this whole thing on. He says, behold, listen, the day is coming that I will send a famine upon the land, not a famine of bread, not a famine for water, not a thirst for water, but rather of hearing of the words of the Lord. Is God being silent, or the messenger? This has been kind of the pivotal turning point for me as the teacher, because God has a message. If the messenger is silent, if the receiver is unwilling to hear, then the message is not obtained. God was speaking to those of that time who seemingly had no desire to hear what was being said, what was being brought to them by pastors, teachers, and prophets. So God said, okay, if that continues, then you won't hear it anymore because it won't be available. A nation without the Word of God is a nation without freedom. A nation without the Word of God is a nation without foundation. But a nation without the Word of God is also a nation without faith. Romans 10 and 17, it says, so then faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God. So how do people get saved if no one can no longer hear the Word? And it's not because God has a desire to cut that supply off. But why would we continue to pour water on a rock knowing it will never soak in?